Hey folks, Mike Davis here. I just want to share with everyone what ESPN had to say about Malcolm Mitchell. If you're from this part of the country, it should make you extremely proud. It's a great story. If this doesn't touch you just a little bit, your heart pumps Kool-Aid. So here we go. Sorry about the volume. I'm gonna do the best I can here.
And there's no quit in Nick Kwiatkowski. Meanwhile, we go back to a very interesting pick by the New England Patriots. It is Malcolm Mitchell, the wide receiver out of Georgia.
I liked him. I'll tell you, when he was early in his career, he looked like a star of the future, and he was a guy, unfortunately, got hurt. He hurt that ACL early on. It was 2008, I believe it was. 2013, eighth-ranked team, Clemson. You're talking about a guy who had speed to burn then, came back, thought he really got some of that ability down the field, that vertical stretch ability back this past season. They had very, I'll be kind to say, erratic, ineffective quarterback play. Yet he still had a season-high, led the team with 58 receptions, nearly 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. The ACL affected his career, no question about it. He got off to that great start, but he came back from it. He's now 3 years removed from that injury, and the New England Patriots had not yet addressed wide receiver. Now they do. It's an opportunity for a team that needed help at that spot. They've swung and missed a few times along the way. Malcolm Mitchell has a chance to be a productive player in the NFL.
Well, this is another guy to add to their arsenal. Now, they went out and got Chris Hogan from Buffalo, who was kind of like a bigger type of Julian Edelman. And Malcolm Mitchell is a dynamite route runner. You saw him down at the Senior Bowl. Now, he can stop on a dime. This guy looks like a video game, so you better be on your P's and Q's when you're talking about your technique when you're trying to cover this kind of guy. I kind of like the kind of things that New England does. They're just sneaky good in the draft. They find the guys that fit the profiles that they want. This guy just needs to stay healthy. He's just a little bit smaller, has a little bit of a slight frame, but he is lightning quick, like the pick.
Well, you mentioned the injury, and he had that in 2013. He had to overcome it. By the way, when he went through the rehab of the injury, he realized that he was at Georgia and he only had an 8th grade level of reading comprehension. He realized he was very far behind him where he should be. So while he was rehabbing that ACL, he also took the time and became a voracious reader. In fact, he became such a voracious reader that it changed his entire life for him. Not only did he start reading everything he could find, he became a writer. And he recently had his own book published called The Magician's Hat, which is basically a story of a magician who helps kids understand the power of reading.
That's awesome.
And he's gone from being a guy who barely could read at an 8th grade level to now being a published author, and he had a 4.0 GPA his last year at Georgia. And here is the book, The Magician's Hat by Malcolm Mitchell. So you want to talk about a kid who took a negative situation and turned it into a positive? That's Malcolm Mitchell. And we'll see if he can turn it around and turn a positive situation on the field this year for the New England Patriots. But kudos to Malcolm Mitchell.
Hey, grab one of those.
What he was.
My guy,
We have for everybody.
Thank
all right? We'll pass along
That's
the
no
Magician's
doubt.
Hat for everybody. So good for you, Malcolm Mitchell. We'll see what happens and see how your career plays out on the field in New York. By the way, Cleveland, of course, made that trade with Oakland. They've made a pick. They've also gone